Okay.
Okay, I'm recording. So I am.
Okay, thank you.
I am Raymond VanArragon. I started doing philosophy in college at Calvin College, and one of my professors was Kelly Clark. And I became a philosophy major and started studying philosophy partly because of Kelly Clark. Then I went for graduate school to get my PhD at the University of Notre Dame. And the famous philosopher I studied with there was Alvin Plantinga. So I really admire Alvin Plantinga. He is a great philosopher and a wonderful man. And then after I got my PhD at Notre Dame, I went to teach at Bethel University in Minnesota. And that is where I'm teaching now.
Okay. You answered the first question and you and when you finished, you cut the recording. And I can. Okay, I send. I ask a question to. Do philosophy or philosophers set a criteria for those who want to become philosophers in the world? In other words, that what should one, if one wants to become a philosopher, have the set component and the criteria or not? What's your opinion about it?
I think that if you want to become a philosopher, to be a philosopher, you have to want to ask important questions, and you have to learn how to reason and think clearly, and you have to like to read philosophy. And what is ideal is if you can go to school where you study with good philosophers. So that is how to become a philosopher. Now, I do not know if that answered your question, but I just got your email. So just one moment.
Okay, my means about it. Thank you.
I will answer that question. So the question says, on what basis can we consider a theory as a philosophical theory? Are there features and components for philosophical theories based on what we consider such a theory as a philosophical theory? And on the one hand, should we consider such a theory as a philosophical theory and mere imagination? Is there a need for demarcation in philosophy as well? So I will try to answer that question. A good philosophical theory, it makes sense, it's consistent, it is possibly true. So sometimes philosophical theories say things that are not logical. And if a theory says something that's not logical, then the theory has to be false. It is not a genuine good philosophical theory. So that is one thing. It has to be logical. It has to make sense. And the second thing is it has to match up with real life. So if a philosophical theory says something about the world that is obviously false, that is obviously not true, then that philosophical theory isn't right. So it's not a good philosophical theory. So I think about, do you know Marxism? So Karl Marx, he had a philosophical theory about how the world should go and about how capitalism would end. and his philosophical theory doesn't really match the world very well. So that is a very complicated theory, but one of the ways to judge the theory is if it says accurate things about the world. And some theories don't do that, and then they are not really real, genuine philosophical theories, and they're false.
Okay. Okay. Before I ask the question 4, in the we have the false theories or philosophy or not. We have.
There are some false theories, yes. There are some false philosophical theories. They're not true philosophical theories. So yes, there are some.
Okay. Please. What we to do with these false theories or philosophy?
Well, if it's a bad philosophical theory, if it's not true, if it's not logical, or if it doesn't match up with the world, it doesn't describe the world properly, then people who hold those philosophical beliefs, we try to give them reasons to reject those beliefs. So we try to show them.
My means that. Okay. Oh, you keep I say. Excuse me.
So shall we go to the next question? I won't have too much time. So if we can go to the next question or go to the questions that you are most interested in, we can do that.
Okay. I ask, has philosophy been able to be useful for in society in practice, or has it been merely this theory and rhetoric? I can't spell that. You can answer?
Yes. Philosophy has often been useful, but sometimes it is philosophy just deals with such small questions, such small issues that nobody really pays attention to it. So philosophy, like from Plato and Aristotle and Augustine and Rene Descartes and so many others over the last centuries, over the last thousands of years, has been useful and has had a lot of impact on society. But sometimes now in graduate schools, philosophers do work on such small questions that the rest of that work that is not useful fruit in science or in society or in practice. So the answer to your question is, it is sometimes useful, it sometimes bears useful fruit in society, but not always. Sometimes
50-50. Do you mean that 50-50?
It's hard to judge whether it's 50-50. Close. Let's say 50-50.
Okay. Okay. In a word, can you say that it has had an impact on society and solve the problem? Philosophy solve the problem in the real world or not? In a word, yes or not?
I think that the questions that philosophy talks about are so difficult that the problems cannot be solved, mostly.
Cannot solve? Cannot?
Right. I think in many cases the problems cannot be solved, but we can do our best, we can come up with good answers, and those answers can help guide our behavior. So think about some issues in ethics. So in many cases, ethical issues cannot be solved in the sense that we cannot know for sure what is right and what is wrong. But philosophers can help us come up with the best answers that are available. So there are ethical dilemmas where we are not sure what we can do, what we should do in a situation, but philosophers help us think about what the best options are.
Okay, okay. Dear professor, that's the practical philosophy. That's my concern. I near the 1 years I think about that why the philosophy, if philosophy solve the problem in the real world or not, and I can't reach a answer. Uh, uh, I hope that you help to me to find the best answer. Okay, thank you for your answer. I can five. There is a question about philosophy, and that is whether the word, excuse me, is really complex. That philosophy has not yet been able to answer the issues and the problem of the world, or that philosophy itself complicate complicated that issues and problems of the world.
I think that philosophers recognize how complex the issues and problems are. There are many people who don't really think about the issues and the problems, so they don't realize how complex those issues and problems are. But philosophers do. Philosophers think very deeply about the issues and problems. So the issues and problems are very complex, and philosophers see how complex they are. Philosophers don't make them complex. Philosophers see how complex they actually are. Does that answer your question?
No, I don't answer a question about this. This question always in my mind, and I can't solve this question. The world is complex, or philosophy made this word in my mind. Okay, your answer is finished.
Yes.
Thank you. Islamic philosophy. I ask in your opinion, what is the position of Islamic philosophy and Islamic philosophers in the history of philosophy? Have Muslim philosophers helped in the development of philosophy or not?
Yes, they have, especially about 1,000 years ago when the Islamic philosophers, they had the works of Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher. And so they did a lot of work on Aristotle and applying Aristotle's philosophy to thinking about God. and they passed on a lot of their work to Western European philosophers like Thomas Aquinas. So a lot of the really important work in Western Europe being done in philosophy came from the Islamic philosophers. So they are absolutely central to the development of philosophy in the West. So the answer is yes. Muslim philosophers have definitely helped in the development of philosophy.
Okay, I have two questions about this question. I have a little question, two questions. Why called the Islamic? Why called to Islamic philosophy the Arabic philosophy? Arabic philosophy. Some of people I know they say the Arabic philosophy. Why don't say the Islamic philosophy and say the Arabic philosophy? Have a reason?
So why do people say Islamic philosophy rather than Arabic philosophy?
Yes, they use from the Arabic philosophy.
I do not know.
And don't.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay.
I don't know enough about Islamic philosophy or Arabic philosophy to know why those two are sometimes equated, why people think they're the same thing.
For example, the Professor Soren Burns that I have interviewed with him, he used from this word, the Arabic philosophy. Okay, why is the Islamic philosophy known with Avicenna? Other Muslim philosophers but don't know for you the Western philosophers or not. The Western philosophers only known the Avicenna.
The Western philosophers, when I was in graduate school, I read the philosophy of Al-Ghazali, Al-Farabi, and Avicenna. So we read three Arabic, three Islamic philosophers, those
Sure.
three.
You use the Arabic
Right.
word.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Before the next question, you read about the Al-Ghazali. The Ghazali, the interested person from me. What's your opinion about the Ghazali and his critical philosophy? He critique the philosophy and philosophers. Uh, uh, did you read this critical theories?
I read this. I read Al-Ghazali and Al-Farabi and Avicenna over 20 years ago. So I don't remember.
Oh, excuse me.
I have notes in that I wrote many years ago, but I haven't looked at them in a long time. So
Okay, I understand. I'm sorry for this question. Excuse me. It's better that I ask this question from the Miss Carpefli that you introduced to me. Carrie Peffley.
Oh, Carrie Peffley, that's right. Yes, she
Carrie
knows she knows that. She knows those philosophers very, very well.
Okay, I'm very thanks from introduce shit to me. Okay, what is your opinion about the peace, love, education? That is, do we just have to theories and do nothing practical to achieve peace?
No, we can do work to achieve peace. For many of us, we don't have political power, so we cannot achieve peace at a world level. Like I'm not the president of the United States or the prime minister of Great Britain, or the president of China or anything. People in those positions, they can work for peace at a larger level. But for people like you and me, we can work for peace just among people that we know. I know that in my job, I try to make sure that people are friendly to each other, that I try to make sure that people get along well and that they treat each other well. So I try to achieve peace at just among the people I know. And I think that's
Okay,
something we can all do.
okay. But this is what practical thing should we do with a philosophical background? We can do something to achieve the love and peace that Jesus says that love and peace in the Bible. He said, we what practical things should we do with philosophical background? We can't do something things.
Now, are you gone? Suddenly you stopped. I think that Jesus does say, blessed are the peacemakers. And
Yes, as peacemakers. Yes.
right. And I think we can be peacemakers by helping people to get along, but also by giving to people who are poor, by helping people who don't have enough to eat or who don't have homes. So that's another way to promote peace, is to help feed the poor and feed the hungry and help people who are struggling. And there are many people like that.
Yes, okay. I take a screenshot. I just.
I
Okay.
am recording this. I am recording this so that you can watch it later if you didn't hear everything that I said.
Oh, I forgot this. Excuse me.
I do have to leave.
I delete this.
I do have to leave pretty
delete
soon. So do you want to go to the biggest questions that you want me to answer?
The 7th question. The 8th question.
Okay.
According to Aristotle, who divided the philosophy into 3 parts: do you know that's three parts of philosophy?
Yes.
Okay. Do you value theoretical philosophy the most or practical philosophy? Which one can be considered useful in solving the problems of the world?
I
The
think
question, like you answer, I say that once.
I think that practical philosophy is the most useful, but I think that practical philosophy depends on theoretical philosophy. So,
Yes, yes.
so if you say that so if you talk about ethics and you say
Effects, yes,
ethics,
yes.
so practical ethics. So if you say
Say,
that,
we, I don't see any effect in word about the peace, the word about the, for example, about the problem, evil problem. We have many solving for the problem of evil, but I don't. But I can't see. Excuse me. I don't see any effect in the real world. I think that the theoretical solving is not enough. We must enjoy the practical philosophy and educations, and we can solve the, for example, the evil problem with the education or practical philosophy and ethic. We can solve this problem in the world, and we see some see effect this solving in the world. You understand me?
I I will try to answer. I think
Thank
that
you.
I think that education is very important so that people are raised and taught to treat other people with respect. And that is one of the most important things to do in education, because if people are raised and educated to hate other people and to think that other people are bad or evil, then they're going to treat people badly. But if people as children, if children are educated to recognize that other people are loved by God, that God loves everybody, that can help those children understand that they have to be good and fair and just and loving to other people. So education is very important.
Okay. I say. I'm very interested in working in this field. Uh, you interested or not?
In ethics or in
Uh,
education?
the solving the practical philosophy, the working with practical philosophy to see effects in the world.
I am very interested in that. I
Uh,
I have taught many ethics courses which are about what we should do in the world. So I'm very interested in those practical questions.
okay. So we can cooperate. We can.
We can cooperate.
It's
I hope.
honorable for me. It's very honorable for me. Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, the next question I ask the next question. Let's get back to our interests. What do you think the most important issues in philosophy has been resolved yet or not? Which issues are you most interested in? You said.
I think there are so many important issues in philosophy. One of the issues in philosophy is about psychology. So I will just say what the issue is. The issue is how your brain works, how your brain is connected to your thoughts, and what
Psychology.
really are, and what beliefs really are. So I think those are very important issues. The issue of your brain and you as a person. How is your brain related to you? So
Okay.
I think that's a very interesting question, especially since we are learning so much about the brain in science.
Brain.
Yes.
Yes, it's very interesting to me, the brain. The brain and plus the brain philosophy is very interesting to me, and it's new issues in Iran now.
Oh,
Okay, yes, the new issues
yeah.
come to Iran, but we don't have a must source about the brain philosophy.
Hmm.
I remember that we have one book. Uh, I don't know from what other which philosophy.
Right.
We have one book about this. If you uh, introduce to me some source, I thank you very much. Uh, you
I will
type and email to me
I will
if you want.
I will send you an email about a good book in philosophy of
Thank you.
mind. So I will
You have any article about these issues?
not I have not written an article on the issue of philosophy of mind or philosophy in the brain. So I am interested in it and I think it's very important, but I have not written any articles about it.
Okay. You said me you interested in epistemology and ethics and philosophy of religion. You
Yes.
emailed to me many months ago, I think, and say one sentence and ask the next question. The questions a bit similar to are a bit similar. Excuse me, this شبه هم هستن. The question are a bit similar. The 9 question or 10 question?
I think we are on question 10 and
10. Yes.
I think we've
How
already
can we reduce the suffering in the world? Uh, yes. how can we reduce the suffering in the world? I mean, moral way.
I think that we can
The theoretical or the practical?
practical. That's a question of practical philosophy. And I think that if we try to be peacemakers and we try to help the poor, we help people who are hungry and people who are suffering, we can do that. We can give money to charities, maybe, or we can work with charities. You know what charities are?
Your sound cut. I can't understand your
I'm recording this, so you will be able to see
three words that
yeah.
you said.
The word is charity.
Oh, now, okay, okay. Do you have time to do?
I have to leave in 7 minutes, so I don't have much more
7 minutes.
time. Yes, so I don't have much more time, but we can.
Okay, I ask quickly.
Sure.
Okay. Do you have time to work together about this peacemaker?
We can talk more another time. You want to do more of the
Okay.
interview next week, maybe?
Okay. Okay. Next week.
Okay.
Okay. Does more relevant. When do you think peace happens in societies, and what is the need for peace? Can this be achieved with the right training and education?
I think that education helps people to be good to other people. Education can help people treat other people with respect. And another thing that education can do and that philosophy can do is help people understand how complex the issues and problems are. And if you understand how complex the issues and problems are, then you probably won't hate people who hold different,
Okay.
who give different answers than you do. So I think
Okay.
philosophy and education are very important to help people live peacefully with each other.
Okay. Uh, Let me ask a certain question. Is this possible for those religious affiliations to interfere with theories, religious affiliation that everyone adheres to in the course of theorizing and philosophizing and presenting theories, for example, Plantinga and Schoenberg, and maybe you. Uh, uh, is this involvement of personal affairs in theorizing correct? And also your article about the defense.
Yes, I think that a person's religious affiliation can influence what philosophical theories they agree with. So I think people who do not believe in God, they are likely to accept philosophical theories that fit well with their atheism. So I think everyone does that to some degree. Everyone has beliefs, has religious beliefs or beliefs like that that influence what kinds of philosophical theories they accept. And that includes Alvin Plantinga and Richard Swinburne and me. Sometimes philosophy can have an impact on your religious beliefs, but religious beliefs can also have an impact on what philosophical theories you accept. So it goes both ways.
This is reasonable. Do you not think that the reason for not solving some problems in the philosophy is this the influence of personal ideas on philosophical theories?
It can be. It can be. Sometimes people cannot agree on what philosophical theories are true because they have different religious affiliations. So, so people, yes, people who have different religious views, they probably won't be able to persuade other people about their philosophical theories. That's just the way things are. It is hard to persuade people about matters of religion, especially. Now, Ramin, I have to go right now. Do you have any last?
I understand.
Um, because,
I understand. I understand. Okay. Uh, we set a time and date.
shall we do that over email? Maybe we can talk next week.
Next
Does that,
week.
does that sound okay?
Uh, okay. I say that Happy New Year to you and your family.
Yes.
Please pray for me. Thank you.
I will.
Please pray for me. Thank you.
And your family.
If, thank you. And I have a request and cut now. If you have free time, if you have free time, can you teach me or guide me about the Bible? When I read the Bible, the Luke or Matthew, especially the John, I can understand some verses. Can you help me?
I will try to help you.
Thank you so much. Uh, we said this issues, and when you have time, we, I call to you and you guide to me.
Yes. Yes, we can do that.
Thank you.
I will send you the
Thank you.
recording of this. Yeah, I will stop the recording. I will send